Hello there, welcome back to Story Grove. In today's video, we will review the storyline of famous Spanish series Berlin. Let's start our first part of series. This is the story of an intelligent thief named Berlin, who steals wisely with his friends. It begins by introducing Berlin, whose third wife is also divorcing him, causing him a lot of distress and sadness as no one has ever accepted or loved him. In the meantime, the Berlin team arrives, and they take him away in a car because they have a robbery to carry out. There are 4 other people in the team besides Berlin. One is a girl who is a hacker, another is a boy who is a lock master and can easily break all kinds of locks. The third member is an old man, a professor, and highly intelligent. He plans all the thefts meticulously, determining which theft to commit, when, where, and how to do it. The fourth member is a skilled lightman who is also proficient with weapons and is an excellent fighter. Together, they pose as police officers and reach a grand place where the rich are having dinner. They approach a wealthy man, presenting a fake warrant, and claim to have received information about his involvement in smuggling expensive items. "That's why we came to search your safe," says Berlin, leading the rich man to his safe. Berlin then confesses, "Oh, we're not police officers. In fact, we're here to take that precious bowl from the old times, which is in your possession." The rich man, not wanting any trouble, quietly hands over the bowl to Berlin. As they prepare to leave, one of the team members remarks, "You guys don't look like police officers at all." This angers Berlin, who takes the boy aside and makes him cry so much that he kneels down, pleading for forgiveness. The boy admits his mistake, and Berlin warns him not to try to show off in front of everyone, threatening to shoot him if he attempts otherwise. Berlin advises the boy to express his bravery through love rather than false heroics. The next day, they gather at a hotel to plan their theft. Berlin introduces another girl to the team, an engineer who was cheated in the past, leading to her mental distress. Now recovered, she joins the team to support them in their endeavors. Berlin and the professor then share their plan with everyone. They explain that with the help of the cup, they plan to steal jewelry worth 44 million. Everyone comprehends the plan, and the following day, they visit a church to meet a father. Berlin introduces himself as a professor and claims that these individuals are his students conducting research. They express interest in digging under the church after discovering potential treasure there. The father, delighted at the prospect of benefiting the church, grants them permission to excavate in the basement. Unknown to the father, there is a tunnel beneath the church leading to the largest auction house in Paris. In a few days, an auction featuring very expensive jewelry is scheduled, to be stored in different vaults of the locker room. Their objective is to steal all the vaults. Berlin informs his friends that the director of the auction house lives across from the hotel where they are staying. They need to install CCTV cameras in his house to monitor him closely. Sneaking into his house when he and his wife leave, they fit cameras throughout the premises. Berlin and the professor keep a watchful eye on the director and his wife through the cameras. When Berlin appears worried, the professor reassures him, saying, "Don't worry. One day, you will find a very nice girl." Berlin listens as someone shares, "A look at us, my wife and I have been together for 25 years. We love each other very much and have never thought of separating." Berlin responds, saying, "Oh, I agree, but this world is deceitful. There is nothing like true love here." While Berlin is alone, keeping an eye on the director of the auction house and his wife, he observes that after her husband goes to sleep, she leaves the house with her dog. Intrigued, Berlin decides to follow her. She ends up at a bar, where she starts singing. Berlin is captivated by her voice and becomes interested in her. The next day, when the church priest arrives, the team informs him that they have discovered a precious bowl under the church. In reality, it's the same bowl Berlin stole initially. They strategically place the bowl underground to make the priest believe there's a genuine treasure. Overjoyed, the father allows them to continue digging. On the following day, Berlin, intrigued by the director's wife named Camille, begins to approach her. He follows her to a hotel and initiates a conversation. He introduces himself with a fake name, expressing that he's in Paris for a visit. Berlin compliments Camille on her song from the bar the previous night and presents her with her favorite book. She questions him about his interest in the book, and Berlin responds positively. However, Camille leaves without offering any further response, leaving Berlin wondering if he made a mistake. While digging, they discover a tunnel, prompting them to continue digging towards their destination, the auction house. Berlin learns from Camille that she had a disagreement with her husband over attending a show. In an attempt to connect with her, Berlin dresses nicely to accompany her. During the excavation, the father appears in the basement, expressing a desire to take the precious cup to show his university professor. Despite their efforts to stop him, he manages to take the cup. Berlin, angered by this, instructs the lockmaster to retrieve the cup from the father while he goes to meet Camille. Berlin meets Camille and learns she is going to watch the show. He decides to accompany her. Meanwhile, the lockmaster and the engineer girl hop on a bike to snatch the precious cup from the father. As they attempt to escape, the father's friends intercept them, but they manage to flee with the cup, pursued by the father's friends. The lockmaster and the engineer girl retreat to the parking area to hide, but the father's friends locate them and forcefully take the cup. Frightened, they quickly escape from the scene, hoping to avoid any further trouble. When Berlin and Camille return later that night, it's evident they have developed a strong friendship, leading them to exchange numbers. The following morning, the satellite man approaches the hacker for assistance. While attempting to befriend her, the hacker displays her strict demeanor, though there is a subtle indication that she is starting to like the satellite man. The professor comforts the lockmaster and the engineer girl, who were initially scared, assuring them that there is no need to fear anymore. He explains that when they took the cup from the father, he became quite frightened. That's why the father quietly handed over the cup to me, promising not to return to the basement, allowing them to continue their digging. Camille arrives to meet Berlin, but he faces a dilemma. Unable to bring her into the room due to the risk of exposing the computer setup, he explains to Camille that they should talk outside. Berlin expresses concern about her marital status, stating that it wouldn't be good if someone saw them together inside. Disheartened, Camille gets upset and leaves. Feeling remorseful, Berlin follows her and catches up with her in the elevator, where he hugs her to comfort and convince her. This marks the beginning of their relationship. The next day, they resume digging and reach their desired location next to the auction house. However, a sturdy wall made of iron blocks stands in their way. The professor devises a plan to cut through the blocks finely, outlining the next steps for their entry. The professor suggests attaching the finely cut blocks to a car so they can be installed and removed as needed. The building has two guards, one inside the control room and the other outside. To distract the outside guard and allow the hacker girl to hack the computer system, the team notices that both guards frequently order pizza. The satellite man becomes a pizza delivery boy, intentionally delivering the wrong order to spark an argument with the guard. The argument escalates, prompting the satellite man to deliberately provoke the guard further. Their heated exchange leads the guard to call the other guard for assistance. Seizing the opportunity, the hacker girl successfully hacks into the computer system, gaining control of all the cameras. With the guards distracted, Berlin briefs the team on the plan, and they return to the tunnel. Using a thin wire, they skillfully cut through the blocks of the iron wall. Using a magnet, they lift a portion and reach the locker room containing the safes with the jewelry. The plan progresses flawlessly, and now they just need to wait for the goods from the auction house, which will include the jewelry to be stored in the safes. Amidst the intricacies of the theft planning, Berlin's love story with Camille unfolds. As Berlin juggled his time between the elaborate plan and spending time with Camille, a day comes when Camille's husband catches them together. Berlin, quick on his feet, explains to Camille's husband that he is an artist who simply wanted to meet his wife. Relieved, Camille's husband departs, unaware of their deeper connection. However, Camille expresses her fear to Berlin about the potential consequences if her husband discovers the truth about their relationship. Berlin suggests going to a place where they can be alone, leading them to a hotel where they spend quality time together. Meanwhile, the professor and the rest of the team are at their own hotel. During this time, the professor receives a call from his wife, revealing that she no longer wants to live with him due to his lack of time for her. Shocked and worried, the professor grapples with the unexpected news. The engineer girl, observing the professor's expression, deduces that his wife has decided to divorce him. The satellite man inquires about his missing bike from the lockmaster, suspecting it might have been taken during the incident when they stole the bowl from the father. The hacker girl reveals that they were attacked during the bowl theft, and the bike was left behind. She expresses concern that if the bike is found, they might be caught, as the passport on it is genuine. This revelation adds to the lockmaster's anxiety, and he confirms that the bike is likely with the father's goons. The first part of our series ends here. Wait for the next part. Until that, stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share this with your friends. I am waiting for your feedback in comments section.